work in today's world.
Ah,
Hello,
it's okay.
world. There,
Hi.
you're good, of course.
Hola.
Yeah, the two
What-
beers deep with just the two of us, Greg. You were just saying it's a little nostalgic, huh?
it is nostalgic. It's like it's your downtown apartment days. Well, before the apartment caught on fire and stuff days, obviously, but still, you know,
How
it's
about
a good.
Deontay Murray's finalizing 4-year, $120 extension with Atlanta?
That backcourt, I feel like, is not enough for them. They need way more than just those two.
I would say so.
Yeah, I mean, John Collins got moved, so I'm curious what they're gonna look like now without him. But
I think he's gone, Greg.
no, that's what I mean. They traded him to Utah, so like
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't.
yeah, yeah. He got
So I'm
moved. I
curious.
thought you said he has moves. Moves.
Right. He's a big tall stick. I don't know if moves is the proper tongue to
I would
con
say he's got some moves. It's not the best
proper
moves, but he's got some
not
moves.
not the best moves, no. Enough moves that he gets a massive extension, by the way, which good on him. And I must also say, very happy to see all the free agency stuff. Happy to see people get their bags, which makes me question the idea about if a in-season tournament for $500,000 a winner is a good idea. So we'll see.
So, yeah, I think there's a couple things that we're going to do today.
hmm
Uh,
We have a we got a lot to talk about, and we didn't even have a production show. So it's literally just us shooting from the hip.
no, this whole show is gonna be a shooting for the hip, just because that's what it is.
We
Okay, sorry, I
we
gotta look him
do
up, of course.
we do like to shoot from the hip here.
It's just what we do. So here's what
Yeah.
I'm thinking. Sup, mofo's. Sup, bueno.
What are you thinking, bud?
We catch up.
Okay.
So we do our normal 5 minute talk because I got questions for you,
It usually lasts like 15 minutes
and then
sometimes, but still.
I think we do a combination of just sport royale, and then we do a bunch of drafts.
Is it a sport royale with cheese?
Did you get a haircut?
Yes, I
Oh,
did. High
nice. It
and
looks
tight.
really good.
High,
Yeah,
high and tight.
super high and
High
tight. I
and
didn't even
tight.
know that.
Yeah. Yeah. I
With
get
cheese, yes.
Yes, thank you. I get very thrown off, and I don't know if this is something that you get asked when you get your hair cut or not, but like when like I'm getting like finished up, like I get like the neckline finished up, the barber will ask me, "Are we touching up your eyebrows today?" And I always get like creeped out by that because I've never had that because that's such a random question to ask, and I've never once thought about having my eyebrows trimmed.
Has anyone ever
But what
told you you have nice eyebrows or anything like that?
I have never
Okay.
heard that compliment
Okay.
before.
I got it.
So yeah. I mean, have you been asked if you want your eyebrows touched up?
No, but I have been told I have nice eyebrows.
Really? I would
Yeah.
have never guessed that eyebrows would be a compliment that people would give, you know? Like it seems like it's such like a I don't know, like it's just there. You know, like it would look weird if you didn't have them, but it's not something that I would imagine would be something that gets like, that you're noticed for,
I agree
you
with
know?
that.
Yeah, it's strange. But I get so thrown off when I get asked that if I want my eyebrows touched up because in my head I'm thinking obviously no, but then in the back of my mind I'm also thinking wonder what that would look like or what that would feel like. 'Cause it just seems weird, you know?
I don't know if you put a lot more thought into stuff than I do sometimes, huh?
It's a weird ask to me. Like I like the idea like just getting asked, "Hey, do you want your eyebrows touched up?" is something I've never had
Well,
asked me
so
before.
there is I know you're not on social media, which did you
I
download
am
Thread?
not. I have not. I saw the mass exodus yesterday and I got nervous, but I've also heard some people say that Threads is lame, which I'm not surprised by because it's literally a meta
Yeah.
company. But I don't know. I haven't hopped off the bandwagon yet. I'm gonna ride it until it crashes and burns and then sees what happens.
Yeah, I mean I like Twitter. It's just I don't know. We'll see what happens. I said a thread, the link to Two Beers Deep, and then just posted the link. So I
I love
gained
it.
80 followers today on there though.
Really?
Well, it
So wait,
links over from your Instagram.
oh, does it?
Yeah.
Okay. That's actually kind of nice. I do not have an Instagram, so I do not know.
So you can't get a thread right now.
No, I cannot.
So
I
your
mean, I
eyebrows, let me get. They're nice eyebrows. You have nice eyebrows. I wouldn't
hang
do.
on.
Don't do that. Don't do. You know, there's definitely not even near the webcam, but I appreciate
I
that.
Yeah, I try.
That's okay. Fuck you, Bueno. Um, yeah. Let's start off with that. So, well, actually, let's start off with this. Did you see the trailer for Oppenheimer?
There've been a few. I saw like
Yeah.
the one like a few months ago when it like first came out and stuff. The amount of people in it is crazy.
Yes.
The amount like some of the like the scenes that are in black and white are interesting to me. That they like, is there just going to be like a point in the movie like when they just cut to
So,
that? Because I thought that was
what was it?
fascinating.
There is it's the black and white scenes are. Oh, hold on.
Because it's like it's Robert Downey Jr. playing the Secretary of Defense for Truman. I can't
Yeah,
remember his name.
so Christopher Nolan explained his choice to use black and white scenes in his upcoming movie. Oppenheimer is widely anticipated film, blah, blah, blah. I knew it had two timelines that we were running in the film. One is in color, and that's Oppenheimer's subjective experience. That's the bulk of the film. The
Okay.
other is a black and white timeline. It's more objective view of his story from a different character's point of view. So when it's in color, you are watching Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer's doing it all. When it's in black and white, it's someone else watching the events of Oppenheimer discuss it. And this cast, like you had kind of just mentioned, Cillian Murphy is Oppenheimer, Robert Downey Jr. is Levis Strauss, Florence Pugh, Jack Quaid, Emily Blunt, Matt Damon, Rami Malek, oh my gosh, Josh Peck, David Desmond, something like that out of Marvel was in there, Gary Oldman, Casey Affleck, for some reason they brought him in, Alden Enrich, who I love. This cast is crazy.
Yeah. And I think is this the first Christopher Nolan movie since Interstellar?
That's a great question.
I think. And by the way, I've only seen Interstellar like when
Tenet.
it was.
And Dunkirk.
Oh, I haven't seen Tenet. I haven't seen Tenet yet.
Me either.
Yeah. But I haven't seen all of Interstellar. Like I think I caught like the back half of it on FX1.
I need to see
something.
it still. I've never seen it.
It's really confusing. Like I read the backstory about Christopher Nolan, like, and how he like got the idea for it and all the science that was behind it and stuff like that. And in my head, I'm just thinking this is so much excess work for a movie that I just can't imagine the time and effort that it took to even just come up with that to make it sound realistic.
Jesus. Yeah, I don't know. I need to see that. I need to see a lot of movies right now. So there's Oppenheimer coming out, which those trailers look insane. It's getting shot in 2 different aspect ratios, which is sick. And then the other one releasing that day is Barbie.
I've seen this stuff online about how the same day that it's Barbie and
he knocked his toy under the fucking bed again.
Oh, this is the worst. People, for everyone who wants to know here, Bean is truly a lovely, lovely dog, but he likes to cause shit sometimes for Derek. It's very fun. It's a very father-son like relationship, if you will. You know, one likes to test the other person's limits and stuff like that. It's a fun dynamic to see in person, if you will, because it's pretty great.
All right, Barbie.
See, he's grateful. I could see him holding the toy now. He's good.
Barbie.
The fact that these two movies are playing the same day is pretty funny, in my opinion, because these are just polar opposites. Polar opposites. This reminds me of, oh God, what was it? It was like the one Valentine's Day that Ted and Magic Mike both came out on the same day, and it's like a stripper movie and a movie about a teddy bear. And which one of like the genders would be the ones that would be going to see it? It's polar opposites. It's funny as hell on that one. But this is cool, I think, that they're doing this.
Yeah, I agree. I like the juxtaposition. To me, we were talking about it at work today. Oppenheimer is one of the few movies that I'm like, I really do need to see this in theater. Barbie definitely is not one of them. So if I don't see Barbie in theater, I won't be heartbroken. There's a lot of good movies coming out, though, because I guess there's one that's killing it right now.
Which, by the way, now if you want to talk cast too, the cast of Barbie is absurd.
Yeah, let's look at that one too.
That's just like a who's who of people that they have in there.
Margot Robbie, Ryan Gosling, Greta Gerwig, Will Ferrell. Oh, Simu Liu, I love him. Michael Cera's in it. Kate McKinnon, America Ferrera, Kingsley Ben-Adir. Oh my gosh, yeah. Issa Rae's in it. Ray Perlman's in it. A lot of Dua Lipa's in it. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's insane, and I think most of them either play Barbie or Ken, which is kind of funny.
Oh, yeah, they're all just like Barbie, Barbie, Ken, Barbie, Ken, Ken, Barbie.
I love that they're leaning into it so much with like that juxtaposition of like everyone is supposed to play a toy, so therefore they're a Barbie or a Ken. I think
it's going to be good, dude, because like even here, Barbie and Ken are having the time of their lives in the colorful and seemingly perfect world of Barbie Land. However, when they get the chance to go to the real world, they soon discover the joys and perils of living among humans. Like, I think it's going to be funny.
Oh, I agree. I think because Ryan Gosling especially is someone that I think later in his career has done a lot more serious based stuff. So the fact he's doing something like
Facts.
this is kind of interesting. And I think based on the trailers I've seen, I do like the concept of like, like taking a toy and like coming it out of the world and stuff. But I'm curious how they do it, because this is one of those movies that I feel like like the idea of making a Barbie movie just would have like not worked. But I think Greta Gerwig is the director, and I think she came up with like a brilliant idea for it. So I think it should work. I don't know if I'm going to see it in theaters. I do probably want to see Oppenheimer in theaters too, just because it's a Christopher Nolan movie. Like, you kind of have to. Yeah.
Big facts on that one. Yeah, Oppenheimer looks crazy. Last movie I wanted to bring up. Well, I guess two more actually. Have you seen anything about Asteroid City?
I've not. I've heard it's phenomenal though, and I actually could not, off the top of my head, think of like a Wes Anderson movie from like off the top of my head, like think of one. But everything I've seen about this, and that cast is also incredible.
That cast is crazy. So that
cast is incredible.
My favorite. He did French Dispatch, The Fantastic Mr. Fox, Mount Rushmore, and then he did Budapest Hotel, which Budapest Hotel I think is like one of the greatest movies of all time. Yeah, I didn't watch any of his stuff until last year, and I was like, I better watch Budapest, and it was unbelievable. But Asteroid City looks sick.
I was fascinated when I saw the trailers how like just kind of dumbed down the backgrounds and special effects are. It feels like it's in a like studio lot, and I think they go out of their way to make it that way. So I'm curious. So I'm curious, like how that kind of plays into it as well. If it's kind of like tongue in cheek, like alien, like invasion type based stuff that they do with it, which I think is fun.
I think it's supposed to be. So we'll see, man. And then last one, they just started shooting it, Greg. Deadpool 3.
So that's the other one that I'm curious about, because I don't remember if it was you who told me this or someone else mentioned this to me, but because of the writer's strike, Ryan Reynolds is apparently not allowed to improv, I guess. Yeah. Which,
why?
Because Ryan Reynolds is technically a writer on it, so any changes that are made to it technically is counting as like a writer credit for it. So they have to go by the script that was previously already put together before the writer strike happened. That's why a lot of projects, I don't remember like how many of them, but a lot of projects were like rushed to finish in order to go into production, because once that production gets started, then the writers aren't needed, because the writers are only used specifically to kind of get the basic bare bone down, and then they can shoot everything. But apparently Ryan Reynolds is not allowed to do any improv or something, which that part is going to be hard, because both of those Deadpool movies, like there was improv. I don't know. That's the part that makes me nervous. Not so much the fact that it's an MCU movie. It's the fact that Ryan Reynolds is not allowed to improv during this thing, which is going to be criminal.
Due to the contract writers for the project have with the studio, Ryan Reynolds is not allowed to improvise any lines during the entire time production takes place while the strike isn't over. As they have to follow an ad popped up. Hold on. As they have to follow the letter of the script that was delivered before the conflict began, Reynolds will have to keep any joke he thinks to himself, completely adhering to what's already on the page. They then added how this could be a problem for the franchise's upcoming installment, given how one of Deadpool's most relevant traits is constantly quipping about what's happening around him. It may be difficult for the team behind the movie to have only one option dialogue for him. Do you know what I will say, though, Greg? You don't see his mouth in a lot of it. So maybe
that's a workaround. That
maybe they record the lines
after
the strike is over, and he just gets to watch himself act and make fun of it or something. I don't know.
If that's a workaround that he can still improv because you're not seeing him actually mouth the words, that'd be amazing.
No, it'd be awesome.
Might be kind of like some labor like relations issue, I would imagine, because of that. But if that's like the tongue-in-cheek way for them to get around that is incredible, and that is just pure Ryan Reynolds if that's the case.
That's my idea. That's what they need to do. All right, Greg, let's dive into some sports conversation here. We have a lot of things actually to talk about for a middle of nowhere, but let's start with the play-in tournament, as you previously mentioned. So what, as of right now, do you know about it?
Just the thing that I sent you and Josh in the group chat I think it was yesterday. So it'll be 6 interconference like bubbles, I guess, that everyone will be playing each other. They'll also be considered regular season games as well. So it's kind of like how the WNBA has the Commissioner's Cup.
Yeah.
That's kind of the logic. Like it'll be both a cup game and a regular season game. It'll essentially, I believe, take place during the first half of the year because from what I saw, the final 4 would take place in Vegas in December of 9th to 11th. I believe that's what the logic was.
Yeah, the stipulations are right here. The league will be divided into 6 pools of 5 teams apiece. The pools will be composed of teams from the same conference, but that does not mean they will be based on divisions. On designated days during the first 6 weeks of the season, teams will play 4 group games. That means they'll play each other in a pool once. The winner of each of the 6 pools will advance to a single elimination tournament along with 2 wildcard teams. The exact method of determining the wildcard teams has not been specified. The semifinal and final will be held in a neutral site. What?
I think they announced today it would be Vegas.
Got it. The players on the winning tournament side win $500,000 each. NBA's schedule will include only 80 games apiece for each team. I don't really get why. Oh, what up, Ping? Ola from Canada, he says. Oh, yeah, they are up in the Canadias.
Nice. What part of Canada? You in Toronto or are you in
Toronto right now? They won the big tower today.
Oh, I'm jealous. I love Toronto. So,
but I don't really get why. Like me as a fan, sure, I like the play-in tournament. It looks cool. I don't get it.
I mean, the logic is to try to base it off of like European competition, I guess, with like the FA Cup and like the EFL Cup and all that stuff. So like I can understand the logic. I understand the couple of reasons. Number one, they're trying to find ways to make regular season games more
fair,
meaningful, which is one. 2, I think obviously it's going to be a money grab because you can sell sponsorships to this. You can probably get better attendance then because you could have a team that probably doesn't do dick the rest of the year but has a chance to actually win something. So you get more teams involved. My problem with it is 2 things. One, I don't understand. I don't think $500,000 a player is enough to entice someone to continue to play when you got bench guys making probably 4 or 5 times that during a season. So that's that. 2, I feel like there has to be some sort of like there has to be like some other incentive that a team gets for winning this thing. You know, like I don't think it should be like a monetary thing. I think it should be like whoever wins this automatically qualifies for the playoffs, or whoever wins this gets a top 5 draft pick, or I don't know. Like it just, I think there has to be some sort of stakes, and I don't think monetary stakes are not something that I think draws in the casual fan to this. That's the part that I want to like. I think they need to do a better job, and they have to like kind of get a grip on.
Wow, Greg's wearing gear. Shout out Chip. That he is, Chipper.
It was in my drawer, baby.
You know what I think it should be? I think that the winner of the tournament automatically gets a playoff bid, unless they're in the 1 through 6, and then everything just goes as normal. So if the Lakers win it and then end up as the 2 seed, they're just in the 2 seed. But if like the freaking Pistons win it and then they're the 10th seed, they're one of the wild card teams and they're in the play-in tournament at least. Because to me, I don't think you're going to see a lot of stars in these tournaments. I think it's going to be a lot of resting.
Okay.
Because the $500,000, I mean, when the minimum's $1 million for a 0-year NBA bench player, $500,000 is a nice chunk if you win, but the main stars don't care about that.
So you're saying these tournament games, like even though they are technically regular season games that are going to be occurring, they're more so for guys that are maybe the role guys or guys that are in 2-way contracts.
An automatic playoff bid.
That's the logic I would appreciate. At least some sort of stake.
No, he's barking.
He's barking. Do you know what? Do you know what is the question?
He hears a noise and just. kiss him on the
Murder.
mouth.
Aw, cute on you, bud.
I think it's might be just birds outside. Hey,
Oh, that might explain.
no, come here. We are done. Here's a bone. Here's the thing. Here's a bone. It's a different bone.
All the stuff.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Hey!
I think. I thought you were giving him the middle finger for a second, the way that you were like holding your hand out like that. Yeah, there you go.
Love you.
Aww.
Okay. Anyways, playing tournament. Yeah, I don't know. I'm interested, man, because that's the other tough thing is like, I love the idea of it, but I'm telling you right now, it should be a 1-on-1 to 11 NBA All-Star Weekend tournament still. Like, I think that's the greatest thing ever.
What? So like you think the NBA All-Star game like in general like is the route?
No.
So like
So they're trying to scratch the itch of everybody wanting some kind of tournament that's not the playoffs, right?
Uh-huh.
For me, that itch should be scratched as a fun little, I don't know, middle of the All-Star game, All-Star 1-on-1 tournament to 11.
Okay. Oh, okay. I like it. So have like all the All-Stars kind of like play 1-on-1 games against each other's like predetermined matchups, perhaps? Okay. That's interesting. You could also maybe set it up kind of like did you see the stuff that Brianna Stewart came out with today where they're going to start an off-season league for WNBA players so that they don't have to go overseas now to make some extra cash basically, and the play style is going to be like 3-on-3. I think there's going to be a couple 1-on-1. Yeah, that's a cool.
Wow.
It's a really cool idea that I think would do wonders for them. By the way, I forgot to ask you, are you drinking?
Nope. That's a really, 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 really good question. 3, 2, 1, action.
I should have asked that earlier.
Well, we went from the movies right into everything. No, I got home late. I am sitting here not drinking. We had an off-site thing for work. But what are you drinking, bud?
I got the last of the Burning Phoenix jalapeno from 11th Hour. I love this beer.
They should also have a G League All-Star game so the top talent that gets sent down can finally show their skills.
Oh, God. By the way,
he's making fun of you.
I've been seeing, I understand. I've been seeing a lot of like quote retweets and like all this other stuff lately from like guys that were drafted last year, played in the G League for like X number for like most of the season, and then came up and actually put up numbers at the end of the year. Okay. Like I saw something about Mark Williams, like the guy from Duke that got drafted by Charlotte and was one of 3 guys in his rookie year to have a 15+ point game and 20+ rebound game.
And you think he did that because he spent time in the G League? Is what
he got playing time, and after he got his playing time, he came up and then made some noise and got the opportunity. So maybe I'm eating my words and saying the G League is actually relevant for some of these guys. And I'm also saying that, hey, the G League is important for getting guys reps who clearly need it.
Yeah, I don't think so. No, I like the tournament idea for them. Big 3. I just hope that enough people get to, he's really dying on this hill. Yes, he is, Sid. I hope that enough people get to play in that it's significant and actually doesn't make anybody have to go overseas because can't smoke weed in Russia.
Yes, damn right on that one. But so for the NBA play-in tournament, or like not play-in, the NBA like mid-season tournament, if you want to call it that, is there like a good name for it to like make it like more prestigious, or like even what would be kind of the dream scenario to kind of make this thing prestigious for players who want to actually win it or want to put an effort to it? You know?
Yeah, they're gonna have to. I don't know what they're gonna. I mean, it's just the mid-season tournament. Is that what it is right now?
As far as I'm aware, yeah, there's no like name for it. There's no cup name for it. Because like, here's the thing: if we're basing this off of European soccer as like the logic for it and stuff, with the FA Cup, you're playing against every single club in the UK, in England, essentially. So you're vying to literally be the best club in all of England. With the EFL Cup, it's the best in the top 4 that you're trying to be better than or stuff. So like. So what is like the So what is the logic, or what is kind of that like incentive that's going to get teams to actually want to take this seriously, you know?
I think it's the fact that it's not so much that you are calling yourself the best. So FA Cup, yes, you're the best in England. For me, it's to get fans excited before Christmas, because I love basketball. I don't really watch before Christmas. Christmas Day is really genuinely when I start watching basketball. And I just think that they're trying to incentivize it a little earlier maybe. Did they announce dates for the tournament, or am I crazy?
They've only announced like the Final Four would be, I think December 9th to the 11th in Vegas. That's all I know. So, but I do get what you're saying, because it's kind of funny. Like there's a running joke with me and my dad is that the pennant race in baseball starts on Labor Day.
Yes, exactly.
So that's like when everyone like gets into high gear and stuff like that, and shit starts rolling and stuff. Or it's like the playoff race in the NFL doesn't start till after Thanksgiving. Yep. So it's like shit just turns the gear and stuff like that. Christmas, I can agree with you. Christmas is like it's 4 months left in the season, but it's definitely like it's basketball overload, because it's 5 games on the day. There's like that added there's like that charm. Yeah. There's a specialty to it. Like I imagine for the players it sucks having to play on Christmas, but I think there's just something about it that just kind of is. It makes it feel more important, and feels special with it. So I'm just curious how you can add some prestige to this tournament to, one, get players interested in it, and two, if it eventually does become a big thing and stuff, how great would it be to actually have teams now take it seriously and raise banners for it to say that you won that cup during that year or something like that, you know?
Here's the tough thing is you're never going to catch LeBron, Steph, that echelon of players caring about, they don't want to lose.
Right.
You won't catch them prioritizing this over their health, the playoffs, the finals, because that's what, here's the thing, money is great. For these guys, $500,000 is nothing to sniff at. Oh, excuse me. But a lot of them are making a lot more than that. And so you really look at, okay, I just fucked up the screen. There we go. You look at the other incentives going into it, and it's nothing right now. It's literally just regular season games. The final of this thing is just going to be NBA on TNT. And that's pretty much it.
Well, will be kind of fun too, because like I know in European football, like don't they usually have the FA Cup winner and the winner of the Premier League play each other for the Community Shield, for the Shield beginning of the year, or they also have like the winner of Champions League and the winner of Europa play each other.
The finals and the winner of the tournament play each other the first game the next season or something. That'd be cool.
See, that'd be a cool kickoff to the season. I agree. Yeah,
I'd be cool with that.
The thing that I would be curious about is if if that mid-season team ends up winning, and then what,
Greg?
Oh, the worst.
Why are you in? He's in goblin mode, bro.
You know what it is? I think it's because you haven't been home all day, so like therefore he wants attention.
No, he obviously wants attention.
Mm-hmm.
Stop going in goblin mode. Stop. Woof. Little bit. Speaking of NBA, Greg.
Well, if he understood, yes.
You just tried it again. Cut the shit out. Cut it.
Does he snarl in goblin mode, just out of curiosity?
No, his ears are in a new position, though. There he goes.
Oh, okay.
He's back. Okay. All right, so talking more about the NBA, I do want to ask, because you're a big G League guy. Are you ready for the Summer League?
I have Oklahoma City and Philly on right now for the Salt Lake Summer League game. Yeah. Very lanky, and he looks like he is, when he runs, he's taking massive stomps as he runs, like a giraffe. It's very interesting to see. I'll tell you what, like he defensively, he actually looks pretty good.
Yeah, he's
been blocking some mofos like constantly. So like I'm just saying, like he could be a good presence for this team, and a lot of people have Oklahoma City as a dark horse team to surprise people this year.
If he wins Rookie of the Year, I'm gonna be pissed.
The Blake Griffin Rookie of the Year, yeah, I understand.
Ben Simmons Rookie of the Year, yeah. I just hate that, man. I can't really explain it. Like I get that he technically didn't play, so it's like he is, but here's I guess my entire take on it. I'm very Donovan Mitchell with it, right? Luke
Yes.
Travers, best G leaguer. What's up, Bueno? My mentality is they still like let's put it up against him and Brandon Miller.
Okay.
Brandon Miller did not have an NBA workout off-season regime. Brandon Miller did not run with the team at any point. Brandon Miller was not in the facility. Brandon Miller was not in all of these things that I understand Chet didn't play, but Chet didn't have to go to class. Chet didn't have to all he had to do was learn about Oklahoma City basketball. That was literally all he had to do. And Brandon Miller didn't get that. So to me, it's just I don't think it's a rookie. Has it happened that a rookie in the NFL has won Rookie of the Year on their second year?
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't believe so. Now I'm curious though. I mean, would that be slightly different than than a rookie who essentially, like Jamar Chase, for instance, who didn't play at all his junior year and just trained? Or Micah Parsons did the same thing too. Micah Parsons didn't play at all his junior year and he just trained, and both of them arguably were incredible in their rookie seasons.
Love that take. What's up, NBA? Here's my thought on that. So they just trained, right? They weren't.
Yes.
He wasn't in the Dallas Cowboys facility. He wasn't in the Bengals facility. Yes, they were training and all that stuff. To me, it's about getting NFL money, or in this case, NBA money, getting NBA and NFL staffing, training, coaching, hanging out with NFL and NBA guys. So I like the comparison. I still stand true to it that Micah Parsons, his first year in the NFL, he was Rookie of the Year. Chet Holmgren, this is his second year in the NBA. Is it his fault he got hurt? No,
freak accident, completely fair.
And I even said, I think it was last week, I said that he was probably going to win Rookie of the Year because I wanted to get you guys on. I forgot.
You did, but you had a valid point though, because it's not the first time that's happened. The only argument that I will say that I don't foresee it happening is because I don't see Chet Holmgren as like a focal piece of that Thunder offense.
Really?
Like Shai and Josh are probably like the two guys that offense is going to run through.
Much more ahead of Josh. NBA says Chet is def a rookie. He never competed against NBA players in a legit NBA game. But he also wasn't in class at Alabama getting a degree. That's the kind of awkward thing about it. Like, hey, the league says he's a rookie. Who am I to disagree? I just think it's weird. I would say that Chet's going to be there too with Shea. Giddey's great. Do not get me wrong. I see the offense going through Shea and Chet. But to be fair, we'll see what happens because he's just a rookie. So
it's true. And I mean, for my money, like I can't imagine that the top three for Rookie of the Year is going to end up being Wemby, Brandon Miller, and Chet Holmgren. I think it'll because someone always like randomly
Scoot.
that you don't. Scoot could. He's not much of a scorer though, so that's the only thing that's the only thing that that might hold him back. But like it's very, very rare that the top three or like the top picks are the ones that end up being the finalists for Rookie of the Year. It's usually there's usually like some random person that sneaks in there and actually does something to it.
I think that's fair. I think that's a fair assessment. Greg, from looking at the OKC team, what's their weakness? Too many rookies.
They got a lot of youth on that team. A lot of youth. Yeah.
I like the dark horse call, but they definitely got some youngins.
Yeah, I think what I will say is I think that what works in their favor is it's a very Memphis type approach where they have a lot of youth and they're kind of all growing together and learning together. The difference is that like and funny enough, like the way Memphis is kind of set up, like Ja was like that slasher type, and then they had Jaren Jackson and they had all these, and they had Brandon Clark and like all these other like different great role guys that fit their build. I can say Shai's probably a veteran-esque type player. I mean, he's 26, 27, so like he's someone in his prime right now. But I do believe it's inexperience is their one thing. They play great defense. I think they have roles clearly defined for everyone, but it's just getting that playing time together and saying because no one expected them to be in the play-in tournament last year, so they might have a chip on their shoulder. Yeah. So I think that's why I think a lot of people are expecting them to make that big jump.
You think Josh is gonna be mad that we talked about OKC while he wasn't here?
I mean, he'd be more pissed if we talked about hockey and he wasn't here. So
we can talk about hockey. He says, "What's the starting five there? Looking at the roster, Shea at the point, Giddey at point guard, Power forward Chet, those feel pretty much solidified. Oliver Sarr maybe there at center. I don't see too many centers on this roster, to be honest with you, Greg.
Unless
And,
unless Chet's going to play center, because I
yeah,
mean he's
which he
6'11".
very much might.
So yeah,
Which they still have Victor Oladipo. They
they
still have a couple
they
guys.
just got him. They just
Yeah.
got him actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
they got him back.
Which-
You're right.
Mhm.
Usman Dang there. They got some decent guys. I mean, Davis Burtons can stroke, so it'll be interesting. It'll be an interesting one. Shout out to Philadelphia because they suck.
Well, speaking of, since we're talking some NBA stuff, so I mean, we are in the post free agency world and stuff, bud. Any moves or anything that got you excited, or anything that you want to talk about from all the money that was just tossed out at dudes this past week?
I mean, I'm not mad at any of it, and just so because NBA wrote in, JJJ, Shy, and Dort are not young anymore. Shy is 24, Dort's 24.
And both of them got paid, I believe. Yeah.
So I would say they're still young in terms of the general league sense, but I don't disagree. Big, you guys forgot about Jalen Williams, baller for sure, starting at the
Oh
four.
yeah,
True.
he first team all rookie last year as well. That was something not a lot of people expected either.
That was awesome. Yeah, no, Greg, a lot of signings that came in. I mean, realistically, there's a lot in here that kind of confused me. The Grant Williams trade confused me.
Okay.
I hope Dame gets moved. I think that sorry, I'm trying to look into some of the bigger ones. I like the Clarkson extension. Russell Westbrook getting absolutely 100 trillion% disrespected was a little weird. Patty Mills now in OKC. Chris Paul to the Warriors was really interesting. Lonnie Walker to the Nets I'm upset about just because I liked him. And then Miles Bridges got a 1-year qualifying there. Max Struss from the Heat going to the Cavs was an interesting one.
Yeah, that was a sign-in trade too. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. That's an interesting one for me. Is what it is. So, I liked that we got a bunch of guys. The Lakers got Jackson Hayes, which I really enjoyed. The Knicks traded Obi Toppin to the Pacers, which is interesting, and then we re-signed D'Lo and Reeves. But yeah, I don't know. What are you thinking? What's your favorite move so far of the offseason here?
Favorite move? That's an interesting one. I think there's a lot of like noteworthy stuff to discuss. Because first of all, like I'm fascinated by how kind of like, because to me, I thought the Lakers have the best offseason so far. Just for the fact that like the amount of depth that they have acquired for that bench and did it all, like Austin Reeves could have very easily left for more money and he decided to stay. Like I don't
think he would have done as well anywhere else is where I'm at. Like I don't get me wrong, I love Austin Reeves. I think he was great. I think that they let him shine because he didn't need to do anything more than just ball. Like, if he would have had that season in Detroit, I don't think we all think that highly of him, but because it was L.A. and it was, you know what I mean? So I like that he stayed.
Yeah, no, but I'm just kind of fascinated because I would have thought, like, free agency, especially for him after the run he had in the playoffs, I would have thought he would have gotten a bigger bag somewhere else. And granted, I mean, I think in the NBA, you got to take advantage of the money that's going to be thrown at you. I think a lot of the rookie extensions I really like. I love Tyrese Halliburton getting paid in Indiana. That's awesome. LaMelo Ball getting the bag in Charlotte, I'm not surprised by, but I feel like he still has a lot to prove.
Absolutely
from
destroyed Jordan's career earnings on the court.
Yeah, that's fascinating to see. But a couple other signings that I was surprised by. Kyle Kuzma getting a 4-year like big money deal with Washington surprised me.
I get it. I mean, I like him a lot, and I understand that he's just kind of like there, like not being disrespectful. I liked him on the Lakers. He is just kind of there. For me, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, I think he earned it because I think he looked good in Washington. But it's that same logic I had with Kristaps, was that like Kristaps Porzingis had a career year in Washington and they didn't go anywhere. So like I was kind of curious. I know they're rebuilding, but like I would have thought that like if they kept Kuzma and Porzingis and maybe added more of the young pieces, how that would have worked out well. Because if you put Bradley Beal away from that team when he was a ball dominant heavy guard that when he was healthy took it all, but they still lost. Like I was curious how that was going to play out. The other thing that I am kind of fascinated by, and I'm curious how this kind of plays out still. Jaylen Brown did not get that 5-year Supermax extension yet, which I'm fascinated to see what the game plan is for the Celtics in this case, because they've already traded away Marcus Smart. They've already traded away Grant Williams. They acquire Kristaps Porzingis. The roster is being reshaped very drastically, and I'm curious what this does with Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of had that discussion about what might happen with them. For me, Jaylen Brown is still, it's tough, man. He's still a good freaking player, right?
Right.
It's just
I'm eating my words because of Jaylen Brown being as good as he is, but I'm curious I'm fascinated by if the Celtics are scared to commit that much to him.
I would assume so.
And because I believe the Supermax for him is what, 5 years, $295 million?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of money for Jaylen Brown. And don't get me wrong, like, he earned it. There's a reason he's eligible for that money. Yeah. Like you have to hit certain escalators in that contract in order to get that money. The thing that I find fascinating is if they try to use him as a trade chip, a team can't sign him to that same extension. It's only for the Celtics. So I would be curious, like, if the logic then becomes a sign-and trade with Jaylen Brown if they don't want to deal with him, if he goes to a team that has the cap space and he can be his own guy. But then again, like, we're in a time and place now where the NBA, I think it's so key to have a duo now, because I think the era of the big three, I think, is overplayed in general. I think it's just a mistake, especially how hard it is now to get guys under the cap. I think having a 1-2 punch now is just going to be the way to go moving forward. So getting rid of Jaylen Brown, and I wonder if the Celtics brass has kind of thought to themselves, like, we've hit a peak.
I mean, they pretty much have, right? Like, they have. The peak's the NBA Finals, but shoo. Yeah. Adding in this real quick, Kuzma versus Rui Hachimura. Who's the better baller? Who's more valuable? Whose contract was a smarter signing? Just to read it out, Kuzma signed a $102 million deal on 4 years for the Wizards. Rui Hachimura signed just to pull up all the facts here, 3-year, $51 million deal. So as far as who's the better baller, recency bias would say Rui, just because of how well he did in the playoffs. I mean, he put up like 41 games. I think if you're a franchise like the Wizards, you have way more money to spend in that department. So Kuzma's probably more valuable, but Rui's contract was a much smarter signing for being a little bit cheaper. I mean, bringing those guys back was huge.
Especially the roles they're playing, you're relying on Kuzma to be like a prominent scorer for Washington, so therefore you have to give him that money. Hachimura, I think, was going to be limited in Washington to what he can do, and playing on the Lakers where his role is a bit more clearly defined as like the lead bench guy or someone that can come in and like spell for the starting lineup every now and then if they want. He fits. He's in a great situation, so I think the contract is better for that role. Like, that's why, like, comparing contracts is very difficult, because it kind of depends on the situation that a team is in and where that player goes. Like I made the case earlier that, like, I love Tyrese Halliburton getting his extension because he is the best player on that Pacers team and he deserves that contract extension.
Yeah, dude. He was cool coming out of school, but man, did he go to work?
Yeah, no, like when he got traded to Indiana, like he became the face of that team, and they're slowly rebuilding and stuff like that. And that's why it's a conversation now with Jaylen Brown. Do you really want to give Jaylen Brown a 5-year, $295 million extension when you know what you're getting with them and you maybe don't think it's enough to win you a ring?
Yeah.
So there's that fascinating argument there. So in terms of the NBA free agency and stuff, there's also now the winds of trade chatter, and obviously the big one is Dame. You were excited that Dame requested a trade.
Oh no, why aren't you?
No. I struggle on this one, Deke, because in the time and age of player empowerment and players moving constantly and all that, I thought Dame was the last, like, that last
of a dying breed. You can say
the last of the dying breed that didn't want to move and wanted to stay and wanted to do everything in his power to try to win a ring. And I do believe that he will have a statue in Portland at some point because he earned it. Yeah. And I hope it's I hope it's of him like either shooting that half-court buzzer beater or him with the
That's the best one it'd be.
It's the best one. Or even like him just like with the look at the camera. That'd be incredible too.
Facts.
But it's sad because Dame is now officially the very last of the dying breed of guys that want to stay with a franchise till the end. So it's sad for me, you know?
Yeah.
It just is.
If Roy was going back to the Wizards this offseason, how much would they have offered him? Not as much as Kuzma, just because Kuzma's already there. It's very easy. Jaylen Brown is staying with Celtics unless Dame goes to Boston, which is only like a 1% chance, NBA. I agree. I don't think that happens, but crazier shit has happened in the world. For Dame, though, Greg, I get what you're saying. Like, it does feel like a little bit different, last of a time breed type thing, but here's the other very realistic scenario that we need to understand.
Go.
Players, such as Dame,
Mm-hmm.
understand, and this is going to sound kind of bad in my opinion, I think, they understand how much Charles Barkley gets made fun of.
For not having a ring,
For not having a ring. Rings, in today's world, because of all this movement, damn near a dime a dozen for good players. Like, really, if you look around the league, like, players are getting their rings right now. And Dame, so many times, was proved at Portland that they don't give a shit about winning a ring. They give a shit about him. Maybe not winning a ring.
He's the franchise icon, essentially. So, like, they care about him. They want him to be the face there, but it's a little bit of a daunting task when, like, you know, you're balancing with keeping your franchise player happy, but yet you also have to figure out the team to be able to build around him to make it work and stuff.
Yep.
And I find it interesting. It's crazy to me that the closest that they got was the bubble. It's crazy to me to think that.
Yeah, dude.
So, but I'm curious to see where he ends up. I know he wants to go to Miami, but, like, in all honesty, like, are we really going to, like, play the game where like the Trailblazers are going to be forced to deal with Miami because that's where Dame wants to go?
That's the interesting thing.
Because again, like, I understand the stories now about, like, the agent for him is trying to, like, tell their teams, hey, don't trade for my guy. He's not going to be happy and all that. But at the same time, like, if you're the Trailblazers and if you're the general manager there, like what the fuck? Like, you can't just negotiate with just one team and that be the end all be all. That's a disservice to your organization. Then if you're doing that, you have to get the best package available.
I would be floored if Dame plays basketball in Miami next year without a 3 or 4 team trade. Miami they're not losing Butler or Bam.
No.
Duncan and Hero are not worth anything clear Dame. 3 first-round picks are nowhere near as important as they should be.
Especially Miami, because Miami's first-round picks are probably going to end up being like late 20s, yeah.
If I was the Portland Trailblazers, I would pull Dame in my office, and I would say, you've done a lot for this team in this city, but you do not have a no-trade clause, and so we are going to do what's best for this team. If I was Pat Riley, the godfather, I would say, hey, Dame, why don't you sit out?
Ooh. Now that would be tampering.
Well,
tampering.
Obviously he wouldn't say it, but they do some off-season workout shit. My point is, though, I'd rather them get what they need for an elite player like Dame, like a very, very top-tier player like Dame. They deserve to get what they deserve. The other side of it is, though, you just kind of got to go with who's offering you stuff. I mean, if Detroit, I've shit on them like 7 times on the show. If Detroit offers them a nice package, I'd take it.
Yeah.
Deke and Greg, do you think Dame knows Portland is not going to win a ring? Or does he always think that Portland has a high chance of winning a ring? So the reason Damian Lillard put this trade request in is because they kept the draft pick and took Scoot.
Mm-hmm.
Here's my thought, Greg. You could have got Cat for Scoot.
Yeah,
and some other stuff. But you genuinely, you could have got a Karl Anthony Towns. You could have probably got a couple. I don't know. I'm trying to think of any other guys that would be like in that same vein right now. I highly doubt any of them would be. But you could get a guy that matters for Scoot. And they said, nope, we want the future. Both sides are correct. It just depends what happens.
Yeah, that is kind of true. They really could have gotten Cat for like just straight up the 3rd overall pick. Like it's that like weird tier of player that like is kind of elite, but also needs more to like be truly elite to like get over the hump, kind of. So, yeah, that is kind of interesting. And clearly, the T Wolves like it's Anthony Edwards' team. Like, there's no doubt about that. But yeah, that's interesting that they just kind of went down that path. I wonder if it's, and I'm curious if it's the general manager because he's new. I wonder if it's like him just trying to say that I'm not going to be intimidated by a player.
Yeah,
But
I
if
mean,
that's
maybe.
if that's the case, that's not a hill to die on in that instance. But with Dame Lillard, like I think personally, I think he knew. I think he knew the way that the team was being structured. They weren't going to win a ring necessarily.
Oh, for sure.
I always knew that. I think though Dame has a loyalty to Portland because of the fact that they took a chance on him. Like he was the 6th overall pick out of Weber State, of all places.
But
so like
it doesn't
I
seem
think
like they're really taking a chance on him, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, like the closest chance that they had was with the backcourt with him and CJ. Yep. And I think when that didn't work out, when CJ got traded, I think that was the writing on the wall right there.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah, and I don't even remember the package that they got back for CJ. That's the part that's crazy to me. Like you would think that some of the guys that they had, it wasn't.
New Orleans received CJ McCollum, Larry Nance Jr., Tony Snell. Portland received Josh Hart, which I did like, Thomas Storonsky, Nickel Alexander Walker, Didi Luzada, 2022 first-round pick, 2 future second-round picks. So, honestly, it felt like a contract dump.
Yeah, and I think that first-round pick ended up being Shaedon Sharpe, I think.
So,
like, maybe like, future-wise it kind of worked out and stuff, but they traded Josh Hart.
Yeah.
So, like, so what are we doing here? And they got Cam Reddish back, and Cam Reddish signed with the Lakers, I think. So
yep. Oh, I'm so excited about that one, dude.
Yeah. 4th team. Is it going to happen that his talent finally shows up and all that?
I think you are looking at the perfect team for him to land on. Granted, I'm a Laker fan, but the fact that he literally can get there, and you look at these guys that have thrived, Greg. LeBron and AD did something when they got there. They gutted the team. They have reloaded some amazing young guys. And I think none of those guys have any pressure. They're all super geeked and excited to play with LeBron right now. I don't think Dame believed that Joe Cronin could pull any major deals. Does it really? I agree with that. Cat is only worth 1 first. I doubt it. No, NBA, I said in other stuff. But that first would start the conversation for Cat that is much cheaper than the 10th overall pick. Like, they would not have asked for much more than Scoot because you put Ant and Scoot together, you have an electric young core.
They play off each other so well. Scoot's the distributor and Ant's the like scorer. That'd be incredible. Yeah, that would absolutely be incredible. And then the final piece of the NBA free agency one that I think we need to touch on is Kyrie going back to the Mavericks.
Oh man, I
wanted to save that for like the end of the hour mark because I knew that was going to be a lot to digest.
I just love that Dre's so wrong all the time.
Oh, I thought about it when I saw the thing that he was considering Philadelphia. I dreaded it so much because I did not want to have to come on here and apologize. I really did not. So thank God he ended up back in Dallas. He got the contract that he wanted. Kumbaya, everyone's happy and stuff like that. I'm curious how the Mavericks are going to build out this team, though, because I like Grant Williams. I love them picking up Derek Lively. Yeah, I love them picking up Derek Lively in the draft. I think he was vastly underutilized at Duke this year. So
agreed.
They're building like a decent roster for them, but I'm just curious to see. Again, it's going to be the interesting thing is if they can hold teams to under 130 points a game, they might have a chance to win. So who knows?
Keyword might. We will see what happens. No, dude. There was a lot of things that happened that I was happy about. 1, Doc did not go to Phoenix. 2, Kyrie did not go to Philly. 3, James Harden did not go to Phoenix. I think it is very funny how everything worked out. But also some of the bigger names. So the Kyrie Irving sticking around, I'm interested. I'm very interested because I don't think, as much as I thought he wasn't great when he got there, I mean, he wasn't bad, but he wasn't good. They had like an 8-game bad thing. I do think that they have a very interesting team right now. NBA said not just going back 3-year, 126 mil, Mark Cuban plus FA plus draft, perfect offseason. I don't hate it. I think that they had a strong draft. NBA was just saying, I just hope Kyrie at some point returns to Kyrie. That's all.
Well, I mean, as much as we want to say how bad the Mavericks were playing last year, we can't knock the fact, too, that him and Luka were putting up numbers during that losing streak.
I very much agree with you, Greg. The problem for me is that Kyrie does put up numbers during losing streaks. Like, he's a great baller. It reminds me a lot of what I was saying about if they kept Trae Young in Atlanta and had Murray still. Like, maybe they'd be better without the scorer. I don't know. Maybe the Wizards would be better off without Bradley Beal putting up 36 a night. I don't know. I think it's interesting.
So wait, is Kyrie Irving just essentially like a healthier Bradley Beal?
No.
I mean, you're
Bradley
putting...
Beal's better. Kidding.
Ooh.
Joke.
No, I'm at least... I do believe something can occur from this. It's just getting the right balance with you, because essentially that's what they did. They sacrificed all that depth to get Kyrie Irving, kind of like how the Suns sacrificed all that depth to get Kevin Durant. It's what were they going to do in the offseason to try to rebuild it in a way to make it work? And credit to this, Kyrie got the money that he wanted, but it's only a 3-year deal.
Yep.
And it's a manageable cap hit too.
Yeah.
Very manageable. Like I think it's like 40 something a year, which by NBA standards is not bad at all for a star player.
No,
it really isn't. So like if you have those two, if they have those two as your backcourt, if you can build out your roster with like capable defenders, which they're starting to do with Grant Williams. So hopefully that can kind of work out well. The Mavericks are probably going to be a playoff team next year. Now, are they going to go far? Probably not, but at least they'll be back in the playoffs for all we know.
Fair.
So we'll see. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say the other final domino to fall after all this is still to figure out where James Harden's gonna go. But
so they're slow playing that in Philly, which is weird.
I keep seeing stuff about how like Daryl Morey's like a patient guy and is gonna wait around and stuff like that, but. Like at some point, you got to kind of build out your team and figure out what's going to work, because I can't imagine Nick Nurse wants James Harden there. No. I can't. I mean, like granted, I get it. Like James Harden was the assist leader last year, and Joel Embiid had a great year with him dishing it. But I can't imagine Joel Embiid wants James Harden on that team after getting Doc Rivers fired, because I truly believe that Joel Embiid ended up being an MVP because of Doc Rivers. What?
Something just honked the horn outside. He wanted to look. It's this big truck because we're in Nashville.
Yep. He's very entranced by it.
I don't know what it is. It's like loud as shit, dude. What do we got, Bean?
I find it funny too that because of the shine from the window, Bean looked extremely angelic, just staring at it too.
Yeah, well, he's quite the opposite. So, NBA says. How do you guys compare Walker Kessler versus Derek Lively? Who was better offensive game, switchability on defense? Greg.
Ooh.
Good question.
Kessler was really good at Stanford. I believe that's where he was. Yeah. I think Walker Kessler was really good at
Auburn.
Oh, fuck, Auburn. Okay. But no.
I didn't know where he played. I just know he's on the Jazz.
I can't remember. Yeah, but at Utah, though, he was kind of a guy that had some talent to him, but fell because he didn't really put up numbers in college.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, Walker Kessler really showed up last year for them, and I think he made second team all rookie. No, first team all rookie actually. He made first team all rookie last year for Utah, and he's on the FIBA World Cup team actually for the USA. So this is a very talented dude.
I'm going with Kessler just because he's been in the league. He's not a rookie, you know what I mean?
Yeah, Lively. Yeah, Kessler's a better scorer in my opinion right now. Lively was way more known as the defensive perimeter for Duke because Kyle Filipowski was the guy that did all the scoring for him for Duke last year. So I would say Lively needs some time to kind of get an offensive game going. But listen. There is almost no defensive presence in Dallas. So, the more size they get and the more, defensive weaponry they can help with, the better. So,
NBA also says, no way Kyrie's 10 times better than Beal. That was a joke, but I got you. Why would Harden go anywhere unless Clippers want to break Kawhi and George up? That is your new truck. I'll never drive a truck. For me, James Harden should want to go somewhere because Philadelphia is not winning a ring. And to me, it's that simple. And I know that I'm a Philly hater, and I get it. They're just not winning a ring. I like Embiid. I think he's great. If I'm Harden, I'm ring chasing pretty heavy.
I also think, true, like keeping James Harden there is really stunning the development of Tyrese Maxey, because I think
That's fair.
Maxey needs to be the prominent ball carrier on that team. And James Harden ain't a shooting guard. Let's be clear about that. I think it's very obvious that didn't go over too well. So I don't believe that James Harden is a right fit for this team now. And I can appreciate the fact that at least James Harden has figured out how to like transition his game into a different method now, because like becoming more of a distributor worked out extremely well for him last year.
That's fair.
So as long as he keeps that same attitude with wherever he goes, then I'm totally fine with it. But he should not be in Philly at all.
Yeah, I don't hate that. All right, moving on from there, Greg. It is just the day of the day, so we can kind of do whatever we want. But here's my thought.
What is your thought, good sir?
I think we could fill in a fantasy football mock draft.
Was not expecting you to go that route, but okay.
I know. That's the point, and why it's so exciting.
Yeah, I love it. Look at you just like being like crazy and all this without having a producer on the set giving him anxiety and
stuff.
Look at
me being better than Josh. You can say it.
I'm not gonna.
You can say it.
I don't want to hurt his feelings. He just got back and he feels happy that he's in the thick of things.
Yeah, where was he? They went to a concert.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I don't think
it wasn't at Red Rock, right? No, it was at some giant racetrack looking thing.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember this one because I know he's going to Austin City Lights, but I don't think it was.
No, it was not. I don't think that was City Limits.
City Limits, I think, is the one at the end of the month he's going to. I can't remember which one this one is, but I know it's a music festival. I just can't remember which one him and Lance are at.
Greg, I just sent you. Oh, you absolutely can NBA. It is right there in the chat. Greg, you have the sleeper in your Zoom invite. NBA, you have it in your sleeper chat. And for good measure, I'm going to randomly text it. Make it SVP point system and third round reversal. It is July, NBA. We are not doing... I love it, though. Now, we'll be doing a ton of these. I just wanted to do something different, Greg.
Why not? Yeah, I mean, it's still... I mean, hey, training camp is just around the corner, so we might as well give it a shot.
Facts. Let me get it centered here. Bada boom. I wonder if you can even see that on YouTube. Maybe. 12 teams. NBA, you're out. Yes, we can do 12 teams. That's fine with me. Let me switch over. Yeah, none of the settings are standard. That's just what they put in. It's really annoying. PPR, 12 teams. Snake. I don't even know if you can do... Oh, let's do third round reversal for you, NBA. Go ahead and select your spot, gentlemen. Greg, are you in?
I'm clicking in.
You can take your time. I'm going with spot 9. That feels good.
Okay. No, this is weird. I'm trying to click join draft and it won't do anything. That's odd.
All right. Julia Jones is in here.
I don't...
That's NBA. Greg, if you go to... What's the easiest way to get it to you? It's on the YouTube chat as well.
Just type.
Can I invite you?
Might be able to. Hang on.
I don't know if I can. You should be able to invite. Whoopsies.
Yeah, here. I got it in the...
Oh, okay, cool. Thank you, buddy.
Continue. Yeah, that was annoying. Like, for some reason, the web browser wouldn't open.
I'm also, NBA, just to warn you, I'm taking out kickers and defense for the mock. I like kickers and defense in a league. Just doesn't feel necessary for this. It is a 2 flex, wide receiver, tight end, running back, 2 running back, 2 wide receiver mock. So, Greg is in. NBA is in. I am in. I will be sniping you. All right. Start draft.
Let's do it.
I think... yeah, I want to start the draft. Get out of here. I'm interested to see. There are some things, NBA, just so you know as well, bud, There are some rookies that are much farther down, such as a Bijan Robinson, who is pretty far down right now in Sleeper.
I mean, Bijan's actually listed as 7th overall, so that's not too terrible, I would say.
Is he 7th? Okay, cool. Dude, he was in like the 9th round when I did one the other day. It was creepy.
Really?
Yeah. So what are you thinking, Greg?
Jeez. Oh, I usually just go for running backs and wide receivers and just load up as much as I fucking can. So I'm taking Bijan.
I think that he very easily could be, is not, but could be the 1-1 in fantasy football.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Okay.
Sorry, NBA. I didn't even. He said Greg go to 7, but nope. You already did enough, sir. I think he could be the 1-1 because that offense had the most efficient rushing yet last, and it was. I mean, you add this guy, it's crazy. All right. Saquon Barkley, love that. I am really high on Cooper Kupp as the 1-1 competition also this year, Greg. Just for the record.
Oh yeah, he's healthy. Matt Stafford should be back healthy and stuff too. And it's basically the exact same offense that they ran when they won the Super Bowl. So
yeah, I'm gonna go with the guy that said he wants to break the yardage record this year, and I have no doubt they're gonna give him all of the balls. So give me Tyreek Hill there, and up again in. Oh, go ahead, Greg.
Who is the number 2
In Miami?
receiver? No, not in Miami. In LA with Cooper Kupp.
Oh, Van Jefferson's still there, but I'm not in love with that. And they traded for. Let's see. I don't know. I guess we can look on here.
Yeah, I was just curious because I was curious in terms of offensive weaponry, how much would Cooper Kupp have to help?
I'm gonna tell you right now, Greg. I'm a little nervous that Devontae Adams might not have a quarterback this year.
Who is the backup behind Jimmy G anyway? Do we know?
It ain't someone good.
No, like it's gonna be ugly. So what you're saying is that the Las Vegas Raiders are in firm contention for Caleb Williams.
They ain't not there, bud. Thank you, NBA. Appreciate that. I have Tyree over Kupp. I don't hate it. I think for me, Kupp is a year removed from one of the best fantasy seasons we've ever seen, so it's interesting.
I can 100% agree with that one, and I'm glad you didn't make a comment about me saying Drake May instead of Caleb Williams. But go ahead.
Drake May's a little bitch. Oh, the running back stack is a nice one there, NBA. I'm very curious this year. A lot of people are doing no running backs strategy lately. You get a Barkley and a Henry, though. Those are two workhorse dogs, so don't hate it. Greg, you're up.
Give me the PPR god and Jalen Waddle. I gotta be able to get a receiver at some point on that one. So I wanted to kind of
I thought about Jalen Waddle there. I liked Garrett Wilson because he had an insane first year. I was not in love with Adams. I'm not in love with T. Higgins that high either, as much as I like T. Higgins. So we're back up again with a third round reversal, which I like. 3 quarterbacks gone, and kind of the 3 quarterbacks. I mean, I love Lamar and Joe this year, but not going to kill myself over there. So give me. I think the gap at this position is pretty grand, but I don't know if I love Mark Andrews this early, Greg.
I feel like you can kind of play. I mean, there's a couple good options still available, like Hawk, Kittle, Pitts.
That's what I'm saying.
Goddard.
I'm going Olave. Give me all the young receivers in the freaking world.
That are burners, too.
Tannehill's going to bounce back last year from him, hence King Henry will ball. Could be.
Derek Carr is actually I think going to be a very solid addition for that New Orleans offense in the grand scheme of things. And I'm also just saying I'm going to hold out hope that Michael Thomas actually plays some this year.
Shut up. I hate you.
I'm holding out hope, damn it.
I hate you for saying that.
He was a deep pry for me last year, and then after week 1 he hurts his ankle and is out. Yeah. Oh, dude, I was so happy where I got him too. I was just like, fuck.
So was I, because I didn't get him.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I'm up again. This is why I hate like the running back situation, because like they just go so quickly.
That's why I'm testing a theory here. I want to see if I can wait on running back at all. I like what Team 10's doing, the little jag off them.
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna still stack up on receivers. I'm gonna get your boy Keenan Allen.
I'm very worried about him this year because they went after and got Johnston in the draft. I don't love Johnston, but I am very curious what happens with Keenan Allen and Mike Williams there this year.
Mike Williams and Johnson are kind of the same player almost, so I feel like they're gonna even each other out
See, I
to
think
a
Mike's
degree.
better after the catch, but I'm with you.
Mm-hmm.
Like Mike Williams is, or I'm sorry, I think Johnson's better after the catch. I think Mike Williams is better in the red zone.
Oh yeah, that would be interesting. I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna still load up on receivers. Give me Debo. I love me some Debo Samuels. I can't deny that. And
I know
and
you do.
also just that offense is gonna be scary to watch, even with Brock Purdy as the quarterback.
Maybe.
I'm sorry.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe it'll just be McCaffrey.
That's true. Isn't
Uh,
that fascinating too that Trey Lance is the backup on that team?
it's terrifying. Are you sure? I thought it was Sam Darnold.
Well, that's even worse than the Trey Lance is the third stringer on that team.
Deke, zero running back strategy. Yes, sir. Your team is complete opposite of mine. We should use the same strategy on real teams and see where it end up. I'll beat you for sure. I'm interested in the zero running back strategy, man. I think it's a cool one to go for, but we'll see. Like for right now, I would say Wilson and Olave probably wouldn't be the guys that I would actually take there, but I am really high on them. I think that right now on a point-to-point basis, my guys are putting up more points than your team. It just depends then on the running backs and wide receivers we hit on after.
Yeah, there will be games where like Tyreek Hill just puts up like a 10 catch 200-yard game out of nowhere.
Yep.
So like it'll come. So like that absolutely will be a play. Oh, Justin Fields at 4. Fuck. I got him last year in like
wow.
the 17th round in one of my leagues. Oh, what a steal that was. And he should theoretically put up better numbers this year. Even if he's running less, like he still should put up better numbers with that offense.
Should is the key word there.
Very fair point.
I don't think I'm going to take a gamble. You know what? We are opposites, but I'm going to... No, I'm not. Shit. That's an interesting one. I kind of want to stick to this no running back strategy, Greg. I got to be honest. And there was a guy that ended last year as a persistent... the last 8 games, he was a top 10 tight end. So I'm going to wait on him and snag him later. So give me a safe pick, a safe couple points every week. Give me Terry McLaurin.
Your boy Scary Terry.
I don't love Sam Howell, but I do love him.
Where did this no running back strategy come from?
It is an extremely popular... It's about the value. So if you look at Saquon Barkley, if he gets around 25, 26 points a game, and I took Dameon Pierce here, and he gets 15 to 18, the point difference there is so much different when you look at wide receivers because Hill, Wilson, Olave, and McLaurin are all going to get way more points than that next echelon of wide receivers. It's a mathematical equation about trying to hit on guys in that certain scenario, and I think that now is the right time to start shifting and grabbing some other guys. So I will take Houston's Dameon Pierce.
After you just talked about him, I like it.
My Justin Field just pushed up more points than your team, Deke. Well, yeah, you were up a pick, you goon. Up again. My guess here is another running back. Let's see what he does.
Oh, yeah, we'll see. Looking at some of the other options here. Dallas Goedert.
Tight end.
Okay,
not bad.
All right, let me see my other picks right here. You know what? I'm gonna keep loading up on the receivers. Give me the number 1 in Chicago, DJ Moore.
I don't hate it. I'm very, very curious what happens there, man. Oh, James Conner goes. I would have loved to have him there. Dalvin Cook goes. Still not on a team.
There's some solid receiver talent this year, honestly.
Oh, for sure.
I still have no idea what's going on with him, if he actually will get suspended or not, but Alvin Kamara as my number 2 running back is not the worst thing in the world, in my opinion.
No. That's a great place for him because I don't think he'll play every game, but I do think he plays this season.
Right, and even if he doesn't play, I can imagine that I can find some value later on with some of these other guys. Like just looking at the other list of running backs, like I think there's some decent value as like a spot start from time to time, you know?
Yeah, I don't hate it. Ooh, Hollywood Brown was not there for me. I don't hate him. I'm just not in love.
That Arizona offense is going to be ugly for the first half of the year
that's
without
where
Kyler.
I'm at. A lot of guys still here left. This is the area where I start falling in love with guys for no reason. But I think that you don't get the guy a bag without him being good. I think Darren Waller could be a tight end 1 this year.
Oh,
he is not the guy I was talking about, though. So
with that Giants offense, like he's clearly the number one. I don't even know who
Yep.
the number one receivers on that team. Well, wait, who did they draft?
Um,
Because they drafted a receiver. I know
they
that. I just
did.
can't remember who.
Let's see. Who do I believe in the least? Rashad White, probably. I don't hate Pacheco. I just don't love his red zone-esque stuff. Montgomery's interesting in Detroit, especially because they got rid of everyone else, even though they drafted Jahmyr Gibbs, which blows my mind. But I'm going to go with my boy. Give me James Cook. A little PPR action there. Hollywood is in contract year, and he is the only dude.
That's true. If D Hop's not there, then I don't know who else. I don't know who else is going to be the option for them.
Let's see. Well, the Giants do have Wan'Dale Robinson, and they got Paris Campbell in. They drafted Jalen Hyatt, who has not been great.
The burner from Tennessee. Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm up. This is where the run on my tight end goes. Just give me Muth as my number one.
I traded for him in Dynasty. The receiver core for Arizona: Marquise Hollywood Brown, Rondell Moore, Greg Dortch. So yeah.
Yeah, that's ugly. That is very ugly. You're going to be hoping for like playoff contention or something, and then maybe see how it works out.
Right.
But, looking at some deep sleeper guys. Yeah, you know what? As my third running back, why not? I'm going to go A.J. Dillon.
Okay, interesting one. I think Aaron Jones, I've been just waiting for him to die, basically, because I have A.J. Dillon in Dynasty. Is what it is. Shout out to NBA taking Deontay Johnson. If he, man, I mean, your wide receiver points do not outduel us because Deontay Johnson can't catch the ball worth shit, NBA, and Hollywood Brown is not good in Metcalf. I think Geno Smith has a terrible year, but I like your team still, and I like you.
Aw, that's very polite of you, bud.
No, I'm mad about Cooper Kupp. I would have grabbed his ass. But Tyreek Hill, I think, has massive upside here.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I won a league last year by lucking out and taking a chance on Saquon Barkley in the second round, I think. Yeah, wow. Second round. Yeah, so because again, like he was injured like the last 2 years, so like people were undervaluing him. So I have this like train of thought now that like if I'm gonna be drafting someone, like I should probably take advantage of someone who like people aren't thinking of because clearly they haven't seen him play much.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Kadarius Toney goes. Possibly could be the wide receiver 1 in Kansas City, so I think that's super interesting pick.
Wow, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, he would be receiver 1 on that team.
Yeah, I think he'll be pretty good. Well, I mean, it's Kelsey, but I think he'll be really good this year.
Right, yeah.
Let's get another touchdown vulture and Brian Robinson on the roster.
Oh, yeah, that Washington backfield's going to be annoying to try to figure out. I'm curious how he'll have a full season too, actually. That's someone else that we're not even thinking of.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Some decent guys here late. Jameson Williams is an idiot, so no. You know what? Let's solve our own headache, Greg.
What's that?
Damian Harris, Buffalo running back.
Oh, okay. I like that. I'm also curious now that he's not in the Patriots backfield, I wonder who's going to get the reps when Ramondre Stevenson fumbles.
Kaylor Tavis or something? Taylor?
Oh, Jesus
something or another? I don't know. There's somebody
Jesus
there.
Christ. It's always someone. It's like 4 or 5 deep there.
Yeah. Samaje Perine in Denver. Not sure who the one is there. A lot of people like Javonte. I'm not a big fan. I think Perine's a great backup.
So I'm stuck. I'm kind of stuck in this sense. But you know what? Why not? I'm gonna take Dre's boy. Give me Courtland Sutton.
I don't hate Courtland this year. I really, you have to assume Russell Wilson has a better year.
I would assume as well. And also Sutton was injured last year too, so he's not looked at as highly. I would also imagine at some point that that Jerry Jeudy should also break out to a degree as well, just because he fits that mold perfectly.
Dude, I love Jerry Jeudy.
And I'm now in the 10th round, which works out perfectly for me because I'm going to snag Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, dude. I traded for him in Dynasty too in the Pat Freiermuth deal. I'm interested in Aaron Rodgers a lot this year. I think that offense could be something sick with him.
It could also blow up in his face too.
You think?
Dude, I don't trust the Jets.
That's fair.
Like I don't. Like I love that defense, but like when have the Jets because the last time the Jets were successful was when Mark Sanchez was their quarterback and he ran the ball all the time. So
yeah, but that was also what 17 coaches ago.
Oh yeah, that's true. Rex Ryan pounded in the dirt, baby.
Odell in Baltimore. I like Odell a lot there. I think he's going to be an interesting one.
That three wide receiver monster of him, Bateman, and Flowers is going to be so fascinating to try to figure out who's going to get the majority of the looks.
Agreed.
And it'll end up being Mark Andrews somehow.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, who is in... Oh, that's an ugly pick, but I like it. So, Chi-Town has 2 running backs right now. They're both pretty low there, but Dante Foreman and Rashawn Johnson, I like them both for very different reasons. I'm not going to take them, but damn it, do I want to. That'd be sick. Let's grab the number 1 pass catcher in Tennessee just in case. Chiggy. Just in case Waller gets hurt.
Oh my God, D-Hop really needs to go to Tennessee then. Jesus Christ.
Dude, I mean, it's Burks and Chig. I mean, it's honestly crazy. And then I did say that I think he would have, which I again did not take the tight end. I promise you I'd take. Just to cuck you a little bit, Greg, give me Kendry Miller.
Oh, I was hoping for that on the Vulture.
Because as of right now, you have 2 running backs through week 8 if that suspension happens.
That's very accurate. That is very, very accurate. I don't know. I might have a couple options depending on how the board falls. We'll see.
Let's see if NBA's writing in. Greg, I would stay away from Rodgers. That AFC East corners are stout. The best ones are on the Jets, though.
That's very true. Sauce. You know. I
like Kendry Miller a lot, but I think it goes Kamara, and then if he's out, dude, they don't sign Jamal Williams for nothing, right? Like, they did trade up, I think, for Kendry. He's good.
Yes.
It's interesting. Tyler Algier goes, good handcuff.
Kendry also had a very good playoff run, too, which got him that look,
agreed.
I would argue. A little up on a running back still. Give me Jerick McKinnon.
Yeah, I don't know how he's still so good with OKC, but he is.
Is he the one in KC?
No, that's Isaiah Pacheco.
Oh,
there he goes. Greg Dulcich last year through the last 8 weeks was I think he was tight end 1 or something like that. It was weird.
Wait, Russell Wilson utilizing tight ends. Go figure.
Yep.
Oof. Let's see how the rest of this is set up. Wow, why the fuck is he so low?
Don't take him.
Why not? Just loading up on my receivers. Give me Michael Gallup.
Okay, that's not who I thought it was going to be. That's okay.
No, fuck, he's like the number 2 receiver there.
I think I know who NBA is going to go here, but we will see.
Ooh, there's a couple guys for receivers on mine up if they stick.
I'll tell you right now, I only have one more bench spot, which is upsetting because I still don't have a quarterback. But there's 2 guys I really, really like on the hype level here, so I'm hoping NBA takes one. Okay, Johnson, not who I was thinking of. Right now, I'm very much between. What am I? All right, I need a wide receiver, so I'm going to go that wide receiver. The other one was Raheem Mostert, who I do think has a number 1 running back spot waiting him in Miami, but there's been too much hype, and I like to cuck. Give me Sky Moore.
I do not hate that. Although I would have thought
crazy.
Yeah, but I thought Sky Moore would have produced a little more last year than he ended up doing it.
Totally fair.
But it also I can't imagine how they were going to divvy up the actual playing time or try to figure out the targets for that team. So maybe he'll take on an expanded role this year.
Yeah,
and I think he got looks in the Super Bowl too. I think
he did.
Matt Stafford in the 13th round is actually a very good.
If his elbow holds up.
If his elbow is fine, my God, that's a steal. And then again, too, you could easily play the quarterback carousel the rest of the way if Stafford gets hurt again, which isn't the worst.
I'm looking at the quarterbacks down here. Kyler Murray, who's probably out half the season. C.J. Stroud, starter. Derek Carr, starter. Jordan Love, starter. Kenny Pickett, starter. Brock Purdy, starter. Trey Lance, backup. Sam Howell, starter. Mac Jones, starter. Desmond Ridder, starter. Jimmy Garoppolo, if healthy, starter. Ryan Tannehill, Baker Mayfield, Will Levis, maybe. There's enough guys for me to go, yeah, I will be okay.
Who is the number 1 QB in Dynasty? Just out of curiosity for rookies. Do you know?
Rookies, the first one that went for ours was, I believe, Bryce.
Okay.
Oh, the Eagles D goes. Nice. I think it was Bryce and then Richardson, Stroud, Levis, I think. Let me look.
All right, so I'm on the clock real quick. So my first one, just because he's probably going to get the majority of targets because whoever the quarterback is in Vegas is going to struggle, Hunter Renfrow.
I don't hate it, man. I don't hate it, Greg. Let's see. League.
Come on. Please come back around. Please come back around.
League settings. Do it.
Are you actually taking a defense or
yes,
kicker?
I am taking a defense and a kicker. Yes.
Ah, damn it! Because I wanted to get John Michie.
It's not a bad one.
No, I really did because I think he's going to be a stud now that he's healthy and actually playing. He's another guy that I'm targeting because people are going to forget about him.
Yep. Let's see. The first quarterback was Richardson, then Bryce Young, then C.J. Stroud, then Hendon Hooker, then Stetson Bennett. Did Will Levis not get drafted? I don't think he got drafted in this. He did not. That's very funny.
Looking at defenses.
Oh, come on, Greg.
Yeah, might as
There's
well.
one fucking defense to take.
Give me the Jets.
That's not the defense I was thinking. I hate you. You think the Jets are better than the Steelers?
I was trying to figure out like schedules in my head,
Nope,
and I thought
don't care.
Jets had a better schedule, so.
Don't care.
But that is true. If TJ's healthy, that's a good play.
Hey, Greg. My old ho's sick, but my young ho could.
Oh, that's what I wanted. I was like, kicker, damn it. God damn it.
He's the best.
That's who I was hoping to get. Ugh.
Yeah, McManus just signed in Jacksonville, I'm pretty sure.
I'm surprised Denver cut him, too. Like, that's like, I thought he'd be there forever.
Yeah. That'd be what they do, huh? There is the mock. Good job, NBA. Can't ever say that would be the teams. We can look at them real quick, actually. Jets are better than Steelers on D. No, they ain't. No, they ain't. I'll tell you that right now. Wow, the quarterbacks on Team 1 are a little tough. Quarterbacks on Team 2 is kind of sick. Quarterbacks on 3, wow. Team 5, a little hoggy, son of a gun.
Yeah, a little bit.
Good little mock draft. Get the wheels turning here, Greg.
Yeah. It got me thinking because I remember when I was at the Pirate game, the ranking himself told me that he has been doing multiple mock drafts a day.
Yeah, he should.
In preparation, and I thought to myself, holy shit! Like, how are you that invested in the NFL draft already? And he's like, no, fantasy. I'm like, oh, that's a little sad. Yeah, it really is.
If you're doing heavy mocks right now, you got some stuff to sort out.
He does have some stuff to sort out, which real quick, by the way, just because we have a half hour left in the show, I might as well get this in just because I can. My favorite draft of the year starts this weekend, and I'm very, very excited. Does it start
this weekend?
It starts on Sunday at 7 o'clock. The Major League Baseball draft officially starts this Sunday, and Deke, I wish I could explain to you how funny it has been to watch one Andre Fry squirm with anxiety.
He's been ruining my Dynasty group chat with like freaking outs over who he doesn't want. I don't get it.
It's the greatest thing in the world. And may I say, as someone who has been diagnosed with anxiety, it is very, very fun to kind of watch someone else go through the motions through the most like littlest of possible ways. Yeah. To see it happen. And it's bad, dude. It's bad.
Well, it's annoying because it's like, bro, like chill out. We got the number 1 overall pick. We can do whatever we want. Skip baseball. Football is more fun. Now when it's the draft, NBA, it's the only thing I care about in baseball, and we got the first overall pick.
lot of capitals and a lot of exclamation points have been in my chats with him and stuff. But what is fascinating, dude, is that it is all over the goddamn place about what the Pirates should do. It's
That's
crazy.
what I've heard. So do you?
It's
So
so
top
crazy.
prospect, Paul Skeens, whatever. Dylan Cruz, Wyatt Langford. I'm pretty sure Dre hates all of them.
Okay, so backstory on this one. So Dylan Cruz is someone that Dre loves.
Okay.
I also love Dylan Cruz too. Dylan Cruz came in this year as the #1 overall player. Currently going in, and he was on the College World Series team. Has a very good bat, excellent play patience, is a true center fielder. He's honestly a true 5-tool player. He's well-rounded everywhere you could possibly think of. He has not done anything to lose his top prospect status coming into this year. He's done everything right.
Yeah.
The problems have occurred because his teammate, Paul Skeens, has just blown up. He has been graded with multiple elite level pitches and stuff. He's had an incredible year. He's 21. He's been topping a fastball at 102 miles per hour. His slider is supposed to be incredible. He's 6'6".
Why don't we want
him? He's built like a brick house and stuff like that, because there's always this nervousness when it comes to taking a pitcher, #1, and investing in it, because then you're always like, oh, when's he gonna need TJ, and when's this and that gonna happen and stuff.
Is this guy as good as Garrett Cole?
That's the scary thing. Because of how good of a year he's had, there have been so many evaluators and scouts and all this stuff that have essentially said that this is the best college pitching prospect they've seen since Steven Strasburg.
Oh, wow. Strasburg.
Yeah. And so that's added another level of anxiety to this, because now you have two guys who played on the national champions that are essentially vying for the #1 overall pick.
Well, this was very similar to, which I don't think either of them ended up going, but the two Vanderbilt pitchers that were vying to be the top prospect, right?
Yes. Jack Leiter and Kumar Rocker. Yeah. Yes. But the scary thing is Skeens is looked at as better than both of those guys, which is fascinating. And then the other thing with him, Skeens again, he's a big dude. The thing that about him is that because of how big he is, there's a lot more hope that he can he has a repeatable motion, so therefore he's not gonna have as much wear and tear on his arm. He also didn't start pitching full time until last year at the Air Force Academy. So the logic is there may be less wear and tear on his arm, so it won't be as bad. But those are the two LSU guys. There's also 3 other guys that are in contention as well. There's Wyatt Langford, who's an outfielder from Florida. In my opinion, he is the best athlete in this class. So if you're comparing him and Cruz, if you look at their numbers, they're actually very similar this year. Langford to me is faster. Langford also has more power. The difference is that Langford defensively is not that good.
Yeah.
And hitting wise is also not as consistent. So there's a bit of a knock on him when you're comparing him to Cruz. Cruz is a lot more of a finished product. Langford has a little bit more refining to do. And there's a lot of debate on this one. Keith Law, who writes for The Athletic at one point, had him as his #1 overall prospect. Kylie McDaniel, who writes for ESPN, currently has him as his #1 overall prospect. So there's some good debate going on with that.
Which of these guys are going to ask for more money?
Cruz will probably ask for more money.
Gotcha.
More than likely. So, and then there's the 2 high school guys. There's Walter Jenkins, 6'3", left-handed hitter from North Carolina. Big dude, power hitter. Lost a little bit of a step on his speed because of the fact that he pushed so much towards hitting, so that might be a knock on him, and he's a North Carolina recruit. Then there's Max Clark, who is from Indiana. He's a Vanderbilt commit. 5 tools all around, great speed, great hit tool. Doesn't have the power yet, but will be probably built up into it at some point and stuff. So there's some projection to look into that. It's a fascinating draft simply for the fact that there are essentially 2 guys that have these huge star auras above him. And there's a serious debate about whether or not the Pirates which one to take. And then there's also a debate about not taking them and then using their money to be able to spend elsewhere in the draft. It's a wild thing to figure out. They have done in the past. It's worked out well for them. And I have told many people this that I reserve the right to judge this as soon as the whole draft is finished. And I'm talking like all 20 rounds after Tuesday. And then I can say like if it was a good draft or not. But there's so much anxiety built around this first pick because of just the amount of talent that is available for them.
Yeah,
that
if you miss, it sucks because everyone else is gonna hit.
Right. It's crazy. And here's the other thing too, when you're comparing Cruz versus Skeens, the logic for taking Skeens in this sense is that it is extremely rare to see a pitcher like this highly regarded being looked at this highly. So the logic is take Skeens and then deal with like any, factor that comes with after the fact, because again, you're getting a special arm. But then Cruz has just been a dude all year. So like it's kind of like fuck, like how do we like divvy this up and all that?
If you have to lay down a prediction right now, who goes first?
I'm going to play the safe bet, and I'm going to say it'll be Cruz.
Okay.
I think it'll be Cruz. I am also going to say I will not be upset if they go a different route, as long as it's one of the other four I just said.
Interesting.
That's all I'll say.
You think they could avoid the two LSU guys?
Langford is, I'm telling you, Langford is probably the best athlete in this draft. So, I can make the argument for it. And Max Clark is also, I really like Max Clark, so I would not be upset if they took him. But it's just, it's so hard.
The two high school guys don't sign?
If they're taking a number one, they'll sign. Yeah,
okay.
It's very, very. If you're a high school kid and you're taking number one overall, like there's no way
especially
you can't
compared to those LSU cats.
Right, you can't go higher than that. Like here, and that's the other thing too. Like people are nervous. People were nervous about some backstory about some of the other anxiety that came out with this. So like Kylie McDaniel did a mock draft for ESPN like about a week ago, and he had the Pirates taking Max Clark at 1 overall.
Wow.
The reason he did is because there is industry like rumor and innuendo, and you can say this is what you will, that Dylan Cruz's camp does not want to go to the Pirates.
Really?
Basically, for whatever reason, there's industry buzz and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So the Pirates have overall they have 16.1 million they can spend on the draft. They can also spend an additional 800,000 without hitting the 5% overage, which means they'll lose a draft pick next year. So all in all, the Pirates can essentially spend about 17 million on this draft class if they want. That's basically
if they want. NBA says, what to make of the Red Sox and Orioles making good strides in the past couple of weeks? Good potential, or both of them deep?
Orioles are very, very deep this year. Red Sox are still getting their bearings a bit. They're kind of around 500 at this point, so we'll see how the second half kind of treats them. But that division's a gauntlet and a half, so we'll see how that goes.
Greg, I'm very curious. Who is your favorite pitcher that has the best calming demeanor when he pitches? You can name a few if you have more than one. Calming
demeanor. Wow.
Randy Johnson.
He's terrifying watching him, actually. That's a good one. Probably Greg Maddux has a very calming demeanor. Like, he just doesn't blow people away, but he's just so good and he's so methodical that he's probably one of my favorite ones with that regard.
Yeah.
Calming demeanor. That's interesting. Verlander is a kind of fiery, but honestly, if you watch him work, like he's just so good at pinpointing his location that I think he's excellent. I mean, my personal favorite pitcher to watch is Max Scherzer, just because he's terrifying.
Yeah,
he's terrifying to try to figure out and stuff like that. So, but I don't consider him calm, if that's the question. But anyways, back to this real quick. So, so for that first overall pick, the Pirates have a $9.7 million allotment for that pick. Jeez. So the industry news is that by the way, Scott Boras is Dylan Cruz's agent. So surprise on that.
Yeah, shocker.
So the rumor is that apparently he has spoken to the Nationals, and the Nationals have said that they will agree to pay $9.5 million to Cruz if they get him at 2. They're willing to go massively over the limit to try to get him. So what they're trying to do is force the Pirates' hand to say, hey, if you don't take Cruz, We have 9.5 mil guaranteed. So if you want Cruz, you got to offer more.
Oh,
right.
Damn.
Now that's where the problem comes in, because the Pirates are looking at it from the perspective of, okay, we have this much we can spend. How much do we want to divvy up to Cruz, basically? Because there's rumor that Cruz is going to ask for 10 mil, which would shatter the previous record.
Would he do that only if he went first? If we let him go and
Yes.
fall to like Detroit, he would ask for less?
He would ask for less.
Is that
yeah.
just to avoid coming to Pittsburgh, you think?
Essentially, that's the industry rumor and stuff. So that's where the logic comes in. Like, but it also is of the effect too that if you're comparing Skeens versus Cruz, Cruz is a great player, does like everything you want from a hitter, and is something like truly that like is going to be a great player. But the other logic is that it seems like in almost every draft class, there's always a very good college hitter that comes around that like you can kind of justify being as that like that guy.
Yeah.
It's very rare that you get a pitcher that's as like highly regarded by like so many other industry sources and stuff like that. So like that's where the debate is now coming in, is like, do you take a chance on the pitcher, potentially have the injury concern and all that stuff that always comes with investing in a pitcher?
Yeah.
Or do you take a guy that you know is going to play every day? So it's going to be fascinating. I can't wait for Sunday, because once that pick is made, then I'm going to be like, all right, I know exactly what strategy they're going. I can relax and all that. And then my phone will blow up from someone probably drinking whiskey after he hit the pick and is just anxiety riddled on that one.
Yeah. So he would hate everybody not named Cruz.
Let me tell you something, bud. This dumbass has texted me saying I want Skeens because I want that fastball. Then a week ago he said I'll be okay with Langford. Then he's told me a month ago Max Clark is that dude and I would love him. So when I tell you that as much, and
text for you.
I love Dre. I love Dre to no end. But when I tell you that man is one of the greatest flip-floppers that I've ever seen in my life, I mean that wholeheartedly.
I hate Scott Boras and don't want Paul Skeens. No need to go Skeens. The only thing about Cruz is that he's Scott Boras' client, so he's going to be a free agent anyway. Skeens has much more risk than Cruz. No need to go Skeens. I just wanted the record to show that I have texts of Dre hating Skeens.
Mm-hmm.
That is so funny.
Yeah, it is.
What a guy.
I'm telling you, man, when Sunday comes around and that pick is made, the amount it's fascinating. And honestly, if you see stuff from like local media and all that here, like if you see stuff from like 93.7 The Fan and all that, like they're divided too. There's people that say like they want Skeens. There's people that want Skeens because like they've read scouting reports about how he's the best pitching prospect they've seen since Strasburg, how his pitches are elite and all this. Like there is seriously like it's fascinating. It almost kind of pisses me off that we have the number 1 overall pick this year. It really does. It's
MBS
so
says,
interesting.
Quietly dropping off in 10 minutes. It's been a pleasure talking with you too, buddy. I think we may wrap up. It's 15 minutes to it, and I feel like we discussed all we want to discuss, Greg. So thoughts?
I mean, I'm good with continuing to hash it out, but it's up to you, my guy.
We can hash out whatever you want to hash out. Well, let's do a draft.
All right, let's do it. What are we thinking?
I don't know. It's a good question. Let's do. Oh, let me see do I actually have a draft one. No, I don't.
You know what? We could
discuss. What's up?
We could continue to be cathartic and say, so like last week how we were honest and talked about movies we've never seen. We could do one about TV shows we've never seen.
Sure.
Let's do it.
Let me find that text. Looks fun. I don't remember what text. It's Intrepid, but I don't care. So we're doing this.
All right, I love
Texty text, G for Greg. I don't remember the name of the text I just used. So scrolly scroll. Ooh, there's one called Big Samurai.
Hey, so Josh texted us in the group chat asking if the show is going okay. Should I tell him like it's going fine, or should I just tell him that like it's going?
Say what show? I'm also using a font called Big Samurai.
That's a thing?
Yeah, it's sick.
Oh my god, I gotta look it up now. Big Samurai text font.
He said, what? Boom.
Oh, yo, it looks like Samurai Jack letters.
Yerp.
That's sick.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll just do 5.
That's a show,
for
by the
this.
way, that I never saw the end of.
He kills him.
Oh, does he kill him?
I think so. I don't
Okay.
know if I've ever seen the end.
Because I think they actually did come up with an ending for it, but it wasn't like within the actual like run of the TV series. I think it was like a
I think
post.
there was like a movie or some shit. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So we're drafting TV shows we've never seen.
Yes.
Okay. Do you want to go first or second?
I will go second.
All right. First, I'm going to go with Friends.
You've never seen any Friends episode?
No.
Oh my god.
That show sucks. Give me Friends off the board. I watched How I Met Your Mother. Dessert time. Ready to go into grab after the Stellar Show. I'm going to take Bean on a walk because he is being a little feisty boy. You're up, Greg.
That's funny as hell. Every time I think of Friends, did you ever see? You've seen Undercover Brother, right?
No.
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 Oh. Okay. There's a line that like when Undercover Brother is literally going undercover, posing as like a white guy.
Oh,
as a white guy, he gets put through this like testing machine that like just pushes all this white pop culture stuff on him.
Yeah.
And to make sure he passes the test, like he gets asked a quiz question about a Friends episode.
Oh, that's funny. Have you seen Friends?
Yeah, I
Okay.
unfortunately dated someone who loved Friends.
Fair,
so.
fair. You were up,
Yep.
good sir.
This might ruin our friendship, and actually a couple things might ruin our friendship on this one, but so I apologize on this one. Game of Thrones.
Oh, you suck. We're doing shows we've never seen before. NBA. He says Breaking Bad for Succession. Which one of you guys like a tad better? Well, I've only seen one of them, so I'll draft the other one. Game of Thrones, Greg. I guess you don't really like.
I'm not a.
That's not your level of nerd.
No, I watched the first episode and I just didn't care for it.
You're an idiot.
I feel bad because like I don't remember. I think it was my brother who made me watch the first episode, and then when I did, I was just kind of like, eh.
Oh, dude, it's so good. You can go again. You can go again. We'll do that one. Just because I want to hear.
I'll be cathartic again. I've never seen Breaking Bad.
Okay, yeah, you're an asshole.
I am an asshole. I know.
I just finished Better Call Saul, which was sick. It's the
It's a prequel, right?
So yeah, so it's technically it's another entity that has black and white elements to it. So when the show's in black and white, it's actually in the future.
Okay.
You're out of spoiler zone. So one thing they find out at the end of Breaking Bad is that if you have a certain amount of money, you can start a new life. And so at the end of Breaking Bad, some of the characters do that, and this is about the lawyer who did that, but then it flashes back to how he became the lawyer. It's really cool. But you got to watch Breaking Bad, so.
Okay. So like is the black and white in this case, is it kind of like how with Oppenheimer it's seen from a different character's perspective?
The difference between the future and the past. That's it.
Got it. Okay. Which, by the way, we actually didn't touch on this. Like, who is like when Oppenheimer's in black and white? Did anyone
no idea.
actually see? We have no idea. Like,
I think it's
who's
just real third-party accounts. I think that's the guess.
Oh, so like real historical
think
aspect.
so.
That's interesting. Okay.
All right, I am up. I'm gonna go. There's a couple like big ones. I'm trying to find the ones that would shock you, not so much just be out there.
Okay.
I don't think you've seen those two. Maybe. But let's go with Curb Your Enthusiasm. Have you ever seen that?
I've never watched it.
Okay, Curb is like supposed to be the greatest show ever.
Which is crazy because like I love Seinfeld, so like you would think that I would. Yeah, Larry David.
Actually,
like, fuck.
scratch it. Yep, I'm taking Seinfeld.
You never watched Seinfeld?
No, I've never
Oh
watched
my
Seinfeld.
God. That one threw me off.
There we go.
Holy shit.
That's what I wanted out of this. What's the TV show that originated in Spain like a year ago? The HBO took over. Synopsis: prison, great thieves working together for a great Prison Break, I think. I don't know. Maybe. Oh no, I think you're talking about the one that Neymar. No, that was Netflix. I don't know. Yeah, I've never seen Seinfeld, Greg.
Wow. Holy shit. Okay. Like the amount of reruns that like
I know.
every single network has too.
I need
That's
to just
incredible.
sit down and do it, man. I know.
Yeah, the earlier, oh my God, like my dad basically like force fed it to me, and it says a lot about my comedy tech, I guess. But that prison one got me thinking. I've never seen Orange is the New Black.
Okay, so that one for me was really good. Is the New Black. For me, Orange is the New Black started amazing. The first 2 seasons were so good, and then it fell off hard.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know. I think it was maybe just me more than everyone else, but I fell off hard on it.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I've heard like everything like great under the sun about it, but like I never watched any of it, so I have no clue about it.
Fair. Next, I'm gonna go with Lost.
You never watched? Okay. In fairness,
that was the one I was like, I don't even know if you've seen it, but yeah, Lost.
Oh no, I've seen Lost. Like
Okay.
there was a summer my brother and I just binged the entire series. Yeah.
So what was the Smoking Dragon?
Oh fuck. Well, it was Money
Heist NBA. Got it.
It was the fuck, I'm trying to remember. So like on the island there's Jacob, who's like the protector, and the Smoking Dragon is like I believe his evil counterpart. It's supposed to I can't remember what the fuck it's supposed to represent.
Aren't they in limbo?
They're in constant conflict with one another because they're in limbo. And at one point, I can't remember the bald head guy's name. Fuck, he was like paralyzed at the beginning of the show. When he gets on the island, he can walk. But the Smoking Dragon ends up masquerading as him for like a good portion of like the series.
I have not seen Hitman 47 NBA. Interesting. Okay. You were up, good man.
I have never seen Handmaid's Tale.
Me either.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you mean, really?
I have Hulu, so like, well, I don't know. I thought it was like a very.
It is. Oh, it is. We're both. Yeah.
We're both out of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, a series I really need to watch, and I'm not gonna make this as a pick, but like after I just binged all of The Bear, I think I'm gonna start binging Dave.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either, but I'm not gonna take it since you haven't seen it either.
No, yeah, like it looks so good.
Oh, it looks insane, dude.
Yeah, Lil Dicky's cool. So
I'm gonna go with Always Sunny.
Okay, that's interesting. I've seen maybe like a couple episodes, but I'm not a big Always Sunny fan.
It blows people's mind when I tell them I've never seen it.
Yeah, I've seen a couple episodes. There's some great there's some phenomenal skits that they've done.
Yep.
Like there was one about they had an argument between between evolution and the Bible, I guess. And there's just this great scene where Rob McElhenney's character just completely disproves the theory of evolution. It's incredible.
Oh, I love that. Maybe I'll check it out.
It makes so much sense.
Last pick, Greg.
Okay. Oh, what's a good one?
I
that's
know.
Gonna,
I'm gonna Google best TV shows ever.
God damn, I'm trying to think of one that'll really that'll kind of upset you, but also
You already have with Breaking Bad. Go watch fucking Breaking Bad. Be an adult.
I know. God damn. I can't do a How I Met Your Mother because I love that show. Greatest TV shows ever that I've never seen.
I can go if you want me to.
I mean, I haven't seen Succession, but I also don't have I don't have the streaming service for it, so I couldn't pick that.
That's fair then.
Yeah. Oh, I've never seen The Boys.
Oh, okay, dude, The Boys is sick, and you would love it.
I imagine. I just don't. I don't have Prime, so like I've never like
Fair. It's
watched it.
so what I wish Marvel was in a way. It's
Yeah.
hilarious.
That's what I've heard. Like I heard Seth Rogen's like an executive producer on it or something
He
like that. So I
was
imagine it's, like,
on
very,
so he wasn't on that one. He was technically on for the animated. There's an animated The Boys that he was basically like, we get to do shit that the other show can't, which is crazy considering what the other show does.
yeah, no kidding. From the stuff I've heard. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with a show that I've seen the movie, and that is The Simpsons.
I'm sorry. What? What? You've never seen an episode of The Simpsons?
I couldn't tell you one thing that happens in The Simpsons when it wasn't in Family Guy, and they made a joke about it. Except for maybe Ronaldo going, "Don't," but that was also, I think, Family Guy, and I've only seen The Simpsons movie.
Holy shit.
Wasn't allowed to watch it growing up, just never kicked it on.
Oh,
Sorry,
man.
sorry, Justin Boyd.
Wow.
Yeah, buddy.
That's great. That's crazy because you've watched South Park.
Yep, I love South Park.
That blows my mind because South Park is way worse than The Simpsons.
Well, I saw that later in life in my parents' defense, but yep.
That's fair. Oh my god.
Crazy, right?
Have you seen the running threads on like Twitter about how like, you know,
They
the Simpsons
predict
end
everything?
up they predict everything. It's so accurate.
Oh, I've seen it.
Oh
I've seen it, buddy.
my god. There's some great Simpsons episodes too. And the amount of guest stars that they get for their episodes are great too.
Oh, I know. Sorry to disappoint.
That's amazing.
Well, Greg, we survived without Josh.
Yeah, we did. It's not like we've done this before without him. He abandoned us
Facts.
for a while, remember?
Yeah, and me and him will both, I think, be out the 27th, so we might have to cancel the show.
That's
Unless we
okay.
get Smalls to cover or something, we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, if I have to sit here by myself and just stare at my computer without you two, I'll make it work.
I can't imagine why you wouldn't watch Game of Thrones, my mom said, Greg.
I don't know. I watched the very first episode and then it just like wasn't for me. For as much of a nerd as I am, I'm not a big medieval person. I don't know why.
Crazy. Go watch it right now. I'll go watch Seinfeld.
Well, I think that's a fair compromise then.
It's probably the same
Very
amount
fair.
of seasons. Yeah, good job tonight, Greg. NBA Rigged. It was a pleasure talking with you. Sid Bueno, thanks for stopping by. Love you, Mom. And Dad saying Greg has a t-shirt on. We will... Oh, actually, we'll catch you guys next week, but we'll be very excited to talk about the draft because I'm excited. That's. I like how Josh texted us the name of the show.
Yes.
Show go. What show? 2 Beers Deep. We'll see how he likes that one. I thought about it first too, but got hooked. Fair. My mom does love it now. All right. My dog is whining and gonna shit in the apartment, I think. I love you, Greg.
Go take Bean for a walk, bud.
Yep. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.